slowly I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking. So happy to be walking. Happy to be walking. Thank you for the company. Hey y'all, hey! Get your chair, get your mats, get your weights, jump on your bike, jump on your treadmill if you're walking. Let's get this party started. Yes! We got no music director. Oh! 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 Am I starting late or what? Y'all should be walking or pedaling or doing something now. I'll tell you what's going on. I'll tell you what's going on.
Power on. Bluetooth mode.
My daughter Hey, Great Rising! Oh, Lord, y'all know what it is. Keep pedaling if you're pedaling, if you're on a bike. Keep walking if you're on a treadmill. Keep moving your weights around if you're doing weights. Y'all know what time it is. It's time for me to do better and get another tripod. This tripod has memories for me. What memories is, I don't know, they're cracked up to be. Alright, we're taking it. Yeah, great Lars. I hope y'all had a nice night. Thanks for coming on the walk. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. Thank you, my subscribers. Your fuel that keep me going. Well, it hit me this morning. I said, okay, you got the first I'm walking. You got this, I'm walking. I like the symbols. Anyway, I'm sitting there thinking, and it jumped right into my head. My next theme song. And there it is. I'm walking, baby. Trying to keep my feet and toes. I'll give you a preview, but I'll do it in GarageBand. I'm walking, baby. Trying to keep my feet and toes. I said I'm walking, baby. Trying to keep my feet and toes. 'Cause if I start walking, baby, won't nothing be left of me but a nose. So that's my jazz song. Trying to keep my feet and toes. And then there was a verse I tried to put it didn't work. I'm walking, baby. Trying to keep my feet and toes. I said I'm walking, baby. Trying to keep my feet and toes. But that old sugar cane keep running at me. Na 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 na. Do See, I don't have the last sentence. So you see where my mind was this morning. I was like, okay, all right. And then I literally, what jumped in my head this morning, I got 6 months starting in June. And then Emancipation Proclamation Day. And then I'll be it for walking on the camera. I'll be walking and looking at the videos from the 2 years of me walking. And I said, what if you get old, when you're older, you ain't gonna be doing this stuff anymore, but you have it and you can look at it. And some said, well, what if you can't see it? I said, okay, then I can listen. And then someone, and I said, you know what, then I'll know. But while I got what I got, I'm going to make them. So then I was going to do like a melody, like, not to take it off, almost a parody. Loving me is easy 'cause it's wonderful. And exercising with me is all I wanna do. Moving me is more than just a dream come true. And every time that I do, it's out of love for me. Me, 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 me. Me, 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 me. Me, 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 me. Me, 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 me. Da, 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 da. Oh, hope they don't strike the video. Anyway, something like that. I'm not gonna. But that was that one. And then I said, you know, I have a lot of classical music that I like. I said, you know, maybe I'll throw, you know, something like, you know, I'm gonna walk. Well, see, that doesn't even sound like, you know, I love my lungs and kidneys. I love my lungs and kidneys. But see, I have to do the jazz song. And once I do the jazz song, the other songs will come in its turn. Great Rising, please like, comment, share. Tell a friend, tell a friend. Tell an uncle, tell an auntie. So, that's what I'm going to do. And I was thinking this morning, I was like, Maya Angelou said it. See, this is it, how contradictory it is. And all of my playwriting classes, all my screenplay writing classes, and even my nonfiction writing classes, they all said, they all asked a question. They said, who are you writing for? And a lot of people said for me. And I said, nope, that's why your stuff ain't getting published. You have to write for white people because they buy books. I was like, oh, wow. We don't buy books? That's what they said. So I was like, wow. So you make everything catered towards them. I often wonder when I look at TV, I was like, something off. But once I started taking class, I started realizing that message is not for me. Though it's written by an African American person, that is not for me. We are trained to write to entertain white people, not to entertain us. So, I think back when I get older, and I don't want to look at TV. I'm sick of seeing bleach, blonde, or peroxide hair. I'm sick of seeing all the fake boobs and all the fakeness. I don't know. I'm closer to the exit ramp than the entrance, but I gotta tell you, I don't want to see all that fakeness as I journey on my exit ramp. I don't want to see all that fakery. I'm sick of it. And I don't want to see y'all know what I mean. So I was like, wow. I got enough videos on YouTube that I can entertain myself. And as quiet as it's kept, I do enjoy my videos. When I'm uploading them and I'm listening to me, it makes me laugh. The song that I play, I'm walking, that makes me laugh. It makes me feel good. It makes fun. And that's what I want. I don't get that any other place. I don't think you gotta put down somebody. See, as a child, they used to have your mama jokes. I used to have to leave because I would start crying. Because my mother, who was sick, was very precious to me. So all those, your mama's so fat, your mama's so black, your mother's so skinny, your mother, I would be crying. And they couldn't understand. They were like, you're such a wimp, you're such a that. And I was like, I can't take my mama jokes. Then I guess I get a little older. They started doing like the dirty dozen. You sold this or you sold that. And again, I would start crying. I didn't like it. I was like, wow, ain't we supposed to be happy just to be? Why we gotta be all this? So anyway, I always cry. I don't like the insults and the stuff like that. So I know as I get older and I am limited in my entertainment choices, I'm kind of glad I have these videos that I can pop in. I wish I had some friends that had some videos on YouTube and I could just go to their channels, but I don't have that. So I was sitting this morning, I was like, yeah, my videos make me feel good. Y'all know we walking for 45 minutes, right? It makes me feel like I've accomplished something in my life. That every day I see it. I walk for 30 minutes, I walk for 45 minutes. I don't know where I'm going to be in life down the road. I don't know where I'm going to be. Where I'll need that encouragement. And I'll have my videos. And I want to keep loving them. And I want to keep loving me. And watching them and being encouraged. You know? So, like going back to when I was in school, they said, who do you want to write for? And then they said, you got to write for the white people. You got to write so they'll understand. You got to use verbiage that they understand. That's basically why I have not had any success in my writing career, because that's not who I was writing to. And it wasn't that white people buy more, they spend more, they go to more plays and nothing like that. That has nothing to do with it. It was all a part of training to not uplift the race, because all my videos uplift us. Positive, getting through, single mothers, all that, my plays. All. And if they're not getting through, they're already there. And when I do it for the audiences, the African Americans, they love it. But of course, the majority of the publishers and stuff are white, and they ain't gonna touch it because they want you to write to white people. So I totally understand that. But I enjoy my writing. So now with these YouTubers, and as I said, as I'm strolling along the exit ramp, I wanna, if I can't see my work come to life, I can hear my work come to life. And that brings me to, in June, I have 2 plays, I'm not going to tell you about it all, that I wrote when I was at SUNY doing the playwriting. I did 2 semesters playwriting. And when I came out, I didn't write them while I was there, but I got the idea of them and I didn't understand where it came from. But I wrote it anyway because sometimes as a writer, when those things get inside you, if you don't get them out through writing or something, they can basically be unkind. Like, I want my voice to put that out there. Anyway, so I'm going to, for June, I have 2 1-act plays in honor or in homage to my dearest friend Martin. She was a transgender woman. The first one that ever looked at me and told me I was pretty. And that's, I'm going to have Neighbor Pat because I forgot about Neighbor Pat. Neighbor Pat was my friend. That's how I got to Bed-Stuy, is through Pat, my friend. And Pat knew of Martin. They spoke every now and again, but Pat was over into her own thing. And then Pat moved and left me behind, and I had Martin. So, for Pride Month, June, I'm going to, I'm not reading the whole plays. I'll be like 10 pages, 1 week, 10 pages, 10 pages. I'll work it out to over the month. And that's what I'll do. And then, plus it'll be on YouTube, but I will be recording it for my personal records. And of course for FB. And that's how we're doing. I don't know, I never recorded Bed-Stuy Brownstone Stories for FB. Something to think about, right? I never uploaded the videos to FB. Of course, honey, I know how homophobic those folks are. They ain't like me, and I was born, and they said you a bastard, and they ain't like me, and I ain't do nothing. As the kid said, I ain't do nothing. All I was born. So, I know how them folks feel about the LGBTQA, etc., etc. And, so, I'm not gonna text them. Maybe that's why I didn't upload it. They're cult orientated driven. And that's what I'm gonna, okay, let's change the subjects. I was listening to one of my podcasts, and they were describing what a cult is. Some cult leader who directed all these people online. They never saw her, but she directed them online. They gave her money and everything was good. And I didn't finish listening to all of it. It was something about somebody got killed in this cult. Anyway, the lady said she didn't think she was a cult because in a cult you have to live in a commune. No, you don't. No, you don't. She's online and they never see each other, so they can't be in the cult. Yes, you can. I look at catfish. People are just that stupid. Yes, you can. You can do a cult online. All these Sunday programs that only come online. Let me tell you, for African Americans, the biggest coat, Reverend Ike, somebody pierced. Some pierced something I remember. He was a light-skinned reverend with a mustache looking good. That always gets the ladies. And make their pocketbooks drop open. Wink, wink. And, you can do it. And you don't have to live in a community. It's brainwashing. It's called mind control. And that's what cults do. They make you see yourself as being horrible. And then anybody and everybody else in the cult better than you. So you spend all your time trying to measure up. And it ain't never gonna happen. It ain't never gonna happen. Because it's a cult. Basically ran by men, but there's some women that I've seen coming through, and there's some women pastors. Bullshit. So, we almost at our 20 minutes. Woo-hoo. Yes. Oh, that's better. Yay! Let's drink some water and give the song another thing, y'all. Please like, comment, share. Tell a friend. Tell an auntie. Tell an uncle. Whew. Here we are. I just can't get rid of this gum for a minute. I'm gonna stop putting it on the chair. I'm very reckless with my gum. I need a spittoon. Let's knock this out, y'all. So we can get on with the day. Get on with the day, y'all. So, excuse me, speaking of cult, that drives me right into my mother's side of the family. They came up from Smithfield, Virginia. According to my cousin, my mother's first cousin, she said, we were poor, but your mother was poor. And my cousin, honestly, a wonderful woman. She had one son, and she fostered not thousands, but a lot of kids in Baltimore. She opened up her home, her life. She, as far as family is concerned, when I look back at it, I kind of always knew I wasn't alone. Because one thing about Aunt Alice Lee, you can show up on her doorstep with your bags. You can just show up. And she'd take you right in. That was Aunt Alice Lee. And Aunt Alice Lee left Smithfield and went as far as Baltimore. My mother and them came all the way to Harlem. And Aunt Alice Lee was she would not have been short. If her legs wasn't bowed, she was maybe 5 feet. Her legs were very bowed. If her legs were straight, she'd be about 5'6", 5'7". I mean, extremely bowed. And she said, my Aunt Alice Lee is saying that, because you don't call older cousins, like that's my mother's first cousin, my second cousin, but I couldn't call her Alice Lee. I had to call her Aunt Alice Lee. So I knew she was my mother's cousin. I told my daughter that too. But out of respect, we say Aunt Alice Lee. So Aunt Alice Lee said, we was poor because they were sharecroppers that could never catch up. Never catch up. You go and you buy feed and you plant, and when you sell your harvest, you have nothing. You have nothing. They've overcharged you for the seeds. They overcharge you for the fertilizer. They overcharge you for everything. And then when your harvest came through, they underpaid you for your product. And so you're always scratching dirt. That's what they said. Always scratching dirt. So they finally left. First my grandfather and my grandmother. And then I think the girls stayed behind. And then their boyfriends brought them up to New York. And they stayed. But from my mother was that type that she didn't speak about horrific things. She would just sit in the dark and smoke a cigarette. And you see the tears coming out, but she would never speak of it. And then she'd be fine. And she hated racism. She just couldn't understand why the color of your skin should stop you from being able to learn. Not the fact that you can learn. But it's easier for them to cut off education and say you're stupid. They do it with women. White women don't know it though. Their history is not the same. They have like random memories. But they couldn't go to college either. They couldn't be educated. Their parents could have a whole bunch of land. And if she didn't marry someone to take that land in her name, and sometimes they took the land in her name and left her with nothing, but it didn't matter. She couldn't get it. And so I think I put it in someone post and wasn't too well received. But you rave about this Jane Austen and the Bronte sisters and all that stuff that I had to read. I had to find out what was going on. And that's what they spoke about. Women being oppressed in that century. But it was a love story. So the oppression was never looked at. It was a love story. And Jane Austen, she was a writer. She broke barriers. She was telling you how bad it was for y'all, and that it was going to get worse. And one woman said, oh no, no. And now they're screaming, don't tell us what to do with our bodies. Don't tell us what to do with our bodies. They didn't just start telling you what to do with your body and anything else. As African American women, we didn't have that issue. They didn't care that much. We were used as for experiments for abortion. There was aborting our kids left and right. If you look, baby, that's why they didn't go to doctors. Because you can go to a doctor with a baby being pregnant and come out and that baby ain't coming with you. White doctors have been aborting black babies. But they don't want their white women to get rid of their sperm. Their seed. That's cults. That's how cults operate. remember at my grandmother's Southern Baptist church, the pedophile's wife. She was this really light-skinned, frail lady with nails. And she used to wear these, they always got to dress better than everybody else. And she had these hats. And she had the pastor's wife chair, in front of the church. And their daughter Joyce, we used to laugh at all the time. We used to tell her she had halitosis because she had the worst gums ever and her mouth stunk. I didn't say it. My cousin said it. I would just say, just let me get out of here. Please let me get old enough to get out of here. But she would sit there and her dainty self, this is how she spoke. And they said, well, I don't know, the program or whatever would be read by the First Lady. I just want y'all to know. And I'm thinking, why you don't know that right now your husband got his hand up some girl's dress? Why you ain't know that? Don't you see his hand up her dress like we all sitting in the congregation seeing it? Not that extreme, but you know what I mean. And the fine ladies group will be meeting at so-and-so. And they just, she's like, and she always had her heels on, tippy-tippying around them. Just a dainty woman. And she used to have the teas. She used to have her teas and everything was so nice. And the ladies coordinated it so lovely. I was like, okay, look behind you. Your husband disappeared? He probably got some teen trapped in the closet right now trying to take her virginity. So, and then, I gotta tell you, when I post about this on Facebook, one of my friends said, you cannot judge all by one. She's right. We were Lutheran. And I was young. I didn't see it. But according to my sister, all she said was, stay away from Pastor Gutu. Don't get too close. He was free with his hands. But he didn't bother me. I was a little kid. I didn't have nothing for him. He liked teenagers. So I said, okay. But history has shown that in a situation where there's absolute power, there's corruption. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. So, I didn't think it. When I went down south, that was Pastor Gutu. I knew, didn't have any breasts. When I was down south, I was a teenager, my sister's age, around Pastor Gutu. And the same thing was happening to me. Pastor Gutu was in Brooklyn, New York. Pastor Barr was in Charleston, South Carolina. One was a Baptist who didn't believe in the Trinity, and the other was a Lutheran who believed in the Trinity, and both were pedophiles. Because they had absolute power. And absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. And that's how that goes. So, circling back around. So my Aunt Alice was telling me about our Virginia family. Now, I know those folks is nasty. I went down to the family reunion. We stayed at our cousin's house. And of course, he kept bumping into me. That's what they do. That's what they used to do at the Church of Old Men. They didn't outright touch you. They accidentally bumped into you. You know? It was the freaking sickest thing ever. Now, I ain't saying all of it. I'm going to tell you, my sister and them went to, what was it, Bridge Street Baptist in Brooklyn, New York. Reverend Lucas and his wife Barbara Lucas. And I remember it like yesterday because I was working on us building Africans in American Theme Park. We had been registered as a non-profit organization. I basically wrote the outlay of it, had books, and we were moving on, and they were going to the church. And then I called a meeting. We had to have monthly meetings. We had to have records and stuff like that. You have to have all this stuff when you do incorporate. And Reverend, the wife, was it Pastor Lucas, and his wife, Reverend Lucas, Barbara Lucas. See, I didn't know these people. I didn't go to their church. I was just having meetings for Africans in American Theme Park Incorporated, because I incorporated it. And I got a call, and I said, why? Well, we can't come. Why can't you come? Well, it went something like, Barbara Lucas found out that Reverend Lucas got 3 kids in the congregation.